Hey, welcome back to my channel. So yeah, now I'm gonna like tell you about the mistakes I made in my first year of MBBS. So like I said in my earlier video also, so when I joined MBBS, I was like, yeah, I was really like thrilled that it was the best college in the state of Karnataka. So I was like very happy to get an MBBS seat, and like everyone like really happy at home that yeah, he's gonna become a doctor and this that. So a lot of positive energy after coming into MBBS. But like I said earlier, that I was like really more in the mindset of like physics, chemistry, and maths. So there's a lot of analytical thinking more as compared to memorizing. So yeah, everyone would have memorized at some time in life, like doing your history, geography, civics, and all in your school life. But yeah, that had like temporarily passed off. So it took a lot of time for me to adjust back to the memorization gear. So some things which I want to highlight about my first year is like first year you have three subjects. We have anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry. And a thing about first year was like a lot of negative things were there. Like you have to get 50% in each paper in each of the subjects. So we used to have two papers for anatomy, two papers for physiology, and one for biochemistry. So by chance you don't secure 50% of any of the papers individually, then you're going to fail and you're going to go into a completely different batch. So we had a 250 member batch of MBBS at my college, and in case you're going to fail in the final exam, you're going to be like all the people who unable to pass the exam would be like transferred into a separate batch altogether, who will be always 6 months back from your actual main batch. So that is like a big huge like negative point which used to play in our minds in our first year. Okay, so apart from that, anatomy we used to have like daily we used to have lectures in the morning, and then around 11 o'clock we used to have dissection. So you get to dissect cadavers in the dissection hall and actually see the anatomy visually. And then afternoon you're going to have the labs. So you're going to have the in anatomy the histology labs, and in physiology otherwise your physiology lab or your biochemistry lab in the afternoon. Okay, so this is how the schedule, the busy schedule used to be. And like where I was in my college, so like the first thing people used to discuss when they come to a college is like, what did you study yesterday? I mean, there are like thousand other things to discuss, but that's what they used to discuss. So like it used to be really depressing, to be honest, if you're unable to keep up. Okay, so what I would suggest, like first thing is like keep your calm, keep your mind composed. Okay, don't listen to what others are saying. Ultimately it's what you do matters. Okay, no one's going to come and see what you are doing. Okay, so like a lot of people like me like tend to take people's what other people are saying like more seriously or to their heart. So don't do that. Like especially in my first year I felt I was little lost, like unable to keep up. Like I was like constantly like felt that I am left behind. I should work more, I should work more, I should do this, I should do that. So don't overcrowd your mind with these facts. Keep your mind clear. So what mistakes I made is like I used to read a lot of anatomy. Okay, and I used to like constantly like waste time making like really long exhaustive notes. Okay, so I'll make a video separately also. So you need to make proper crisp notes. Don't make long exhaustive notes, because anatomy most of the things are facts which can be directly read from books. Okay, so like don't sit and make notes for every single thing. The main points you can just jot down in short and make notes. So I wasted a lot of time making notes for that. And among the three subjects, people tend to concentrate more on anatomy, because you're going to have anatomy classes in the morning, anatomy dissection in the later part of the morning, then you're going to have a histology lab in the afternoon. And anatomy professors tend to like interact with you a lot, so you're going to have a lot of questioning during your dissection session. So people tend to read a lot of anatomy and more anatomy. Okay, and we tend to neglect the other two subjects. Okay, so don't do that. Other two subjects are also equally important, especially biochemistry, which seems to be very dry because a lot of cycles, Krebs cycle. Then we have purine, pyramidal metabolism, protein metabolism, all these cycles coming into play. So everyone tends to ignore it and keep it for the end, but don't do that. Cycles definitely how I should have prepared. So I like I read a really difficult book, and I should keep the cycles for the last, and find it really difficult during the exam time. So what I would suggest to all the first years is please, the cycles at least you have to write and practice. Okay, so you read the cycle, close the book, and you need to draw the cycles without seeing at least 4 or 5 times for each cycle. Otherwise it's going to be really difficult in the end when you're going to have all the cycles at once: glucose, pyrimidine, protein, then every single metabolism cycle will be there at once for you to remember. So better to like prepare and keep well in advance by drawing them without seeing. Okay, so that's a very very important thing for biochemistry point of view, because definitely one of those cycles is going to be coming as a main question, and some of the shorter or the smaller cycles will be coming as side questions, so you cannot escape. Okay, so that's how you should prepare. And even in physiology also, I read a really like not so good book, and I found it really difficult to keep up. So I would suggest you read better books. I mean, your foreign author books like your Guyton and Hall or your Ganong. Okay, so when you read those, you tend to understand much better. And only the problem is with Guyton, it's like it's long and exhaustive, so you need to make your own notes, and notes, don't waste a lot of time in making notes. Make notes crisp and fast, the main points, key points, so that you can revise easily before exam. Otherwise your notes will be double the size of your main textbook, so that should not happen. Okay, and one more mistake I made in my first year is that I tend to like wasted a lot of time on those records. So all of your labs are going to be having records like your histology record, your gross anatomy record, your physiology record, your biochemistry record, which you need to record all the that day's experiments or your whatever slides you have seen, and draw diagrams and all. So don't waste a lot of time on those, because those did not have any marks or any significance at my time. I'm not sure about the current MBBS scenario, but definitely, like, if they are not going to be fetching marks or not important from your exam point of view, I would suggest to do not waste too much time on those, because after all you need to read the theory part also, so you don't get time to read otherwise when you waste a lot of time on those. Okay, so that is something which I would like to say. And first year, definitely you're going to be having, you will be feeling that big gap between your +2 and your first year MBBS, because there's lots to memorize. Okay, so anatomy, you have course of median nerve, course of ulnar nerve, course of radial nerve, this muscle attachment, origin, insertion, etc., etc. At the same time, physiology, you have physiology of your neural physiology separately, cardiovascular system separately, so you have lots to read. Okay, so don't waste time. And in medical, what I felt was, when you tend to waste time, it will definitely come back and bite you somewhere. Okay, so make time, make use of time judicially. I'll make a separate video on the time management also. So this is just what I would say with respect to my first year. I felt like I should have used the time more judiciously, wasted a lot of time on irrelevant things. And at the same time, yeah, I was a little bit perplexed, because initially when I joined, I felt I could handle it, but initial 1 or 2 months I felt like it was really found it really difficult to adjust, because so much information and so much to remember. Okay, so yeah, I'll be coming back maybe how to manage this in the subsequent video. So yeah, stick around. Yeah, thanks, peace out.